welcome back to part 3 on the Impala, which I'm not going to keep doing this, introducing you. You're going to do your own video soon, mate. I just wanted to do this one just to say thank you, because we had a great feedback to Owen's first video and the work that was done. So yeah, that was it really. I just wanted to introduce and say that. So while I'm here, before I hand over to you entirely, we've done some GoPro footage of that small repair. I'd say small repair, complex small repair at the top of the aperture. And now you're cracking on with the aperture. So if you just explain to the good people, mate, what it is you're up to, what you've done, and then we'll get some more footage.
I think since the last bit, there's no GoPro footage of this one being made, but there should be GoPro footage of this all being stitched in up the top here and underneath this panel here. I've remade this section here just to give me something to work to while I re-edge this bottom trim line for the aperture piece. It still needs a little bit of final finessing and shrinking and such, but the bulk shape of it is kind of there now. So a little bit more on that, then I can get that piece tacked up, stitched into situ. I can start concentrating on the bottom side of the aperture and make this piece actually come to where this panel joins to here. And I think once I've got that set, I'll then go over to the other side. Then I've got a decent template here to work to, so I can just replicate that on that side. And then it's just 2 interior pieces and that bit.
I like your use of the word just there, mate. That's encouraging.
Yes, yeah.
I will go through and see what we've got of GoPro footage already of you getting that far, so I'll tack that on now. And I'll give you the GoPro and we'll carry on like that.
Yeah.
When you find something interesting, give me a shout, and I'll come and film you.
Yeah.
I'll leave you to it, mate.
Go. Right, welcome back to the Impala. Quite a few bits since we've last had a chat on the video have been done. I think the last thing you guys saw was this panel going in. Get the earth clamp off there so you can kind of see it. So that's all completely in. I've edged up this side here down to this point here, just so I've got a base template to work on when I come down to here. Same with this side, done the edging on this side, and I've done this top piece of the aperture in here as well. That's all sort of roughly clamped into place, so I can sort of see when all my lines are working. And now I'm on to this bottom piece. So, kinda sits in there something a little like that. Once I've got this piece up in there, that will give me this edge to work to from these two edging points here and here. So then that last piece can be seamed into there. Then, in theory, everything should line up. I've been test fitting with the chrome trim back here as well. Just to make sure, upon making that panel, everything sort of follows the same contours. If I can get it to go back in. Something like that. Just to make sure everything's the right sort of shape. I think after this is done, after that's done, the only thing I'm aware of that's left is those two inner cards. So, not too much more left. And get this welded in. Cool, so welcome back. I think the last thing you will be seeing is this panel being finally welded in, all cleaned up, finished, and in place. Since then, I've done these two edging pieces on this side and on the other side over there. Unfortunately, I didn't get any GoPro footage of it because I was toing and froing from the fab shop. So, fortunately, there isn't any footage of them going in, but they're done. So that pretty much wraps up all of this aperture section. I've been test fitting with the rear valance piece that we showed you last time. Boot lid's been going on and off, on and off. We're happy with all the gaps that are on it so far. So it's time for the last piece of the whole aperture section. Just got everything sat into weld through primer. I've got all my plug weld holes drilled out here and cleaned up from the spot welds down here. So this will go on. I'll do one final fit up with the boot lid on it, the chrome trim around the top, just make sure everything's where it's supposed to be. And then that will be this section done, which only leaves these rear parcel shelf card bits. I'm not quite sure what you call them. And then once that's done, as far as I'm aware, that's all the metal work on this done. So we can start bare metaling it and seeing what else there is with it. Cool. Just a quick point we'd like to point out. So I've done a welding repairs to this corner here, and you've probably noticed this nasty line down here. This was a previous repair. If you come in close, you can see where they've tech screwed a rear quarter panel over the top of the existing quarter panel. overlapped everything and then thrown some sort of wire at it and hoped for the best to stick. My repairs are localised round here and down through here. Once this goes into bare metal, we are going to be readdressing this and talking to the customer about it and seeing what's happening with it. But for the meantime, we're not dealing with that at the moment. Right, welcome back to the Impala. Most of the metalwork is now finished. So I think in the last one we spoke about these two parcel shelf areas. They're all done now. There's footage on the GoPro, there's quite a lot of footage on the GoPro. So you should see a time lapse of most of all of this being made, welded in and sorted out. So like I say, that is the bulk of the metalwork on this done. I've got a repair on the door to do. I've got a small repair on the door shut to do on the other side. And then after that, it's bare metaling it and seeing what else we find. I haven't got any footage of this being done because I was kind of back and forth between the fab shops. There would have been not a lot of footage. Lower part of this door skin repair's been done. Wasn't too bad really, to be honest with you. It was only a small localised repair, made it nice, quiet and easy. So that repair's been done. We spoke about all of this is done, I think. And now I'm on to what is hopefully the last bit that we've spoken to with the customer about. If you want to come round this side, you can sort of see what we're dealing with. It has already escalated past what was initially quoted, should we say. This return lip here for the quarter was, I don't know where the old piece is. I think we did touch on this a little bit before. I think there is footage of it. That's what was holding that together, and none of it was really holding anything. So we've cut that off. We're going to replace this lip here. I've had to make a repair section down here, right down in here, about between there and there somewhere. because that, when I took this skin off, there was nothing behind there. So hopefully that's in there now. I'm in the process of shrinking the lip up to try and follow that contour around there. Once that's made, I can get it on attached to the quarter, make sure my door gaps is all still good. Yeah. Few little small bits and pieces up here that just need to be dealt with. And then, I know I've said it a few times, but that is the metal work done until the whole car gets bare metaled, and then we see what we find. Right, back again with this. As this stands, this is the last bit of metal work until it's been bare metal. I know we keep saying it a lot, but we keep finding bits and pieces. You'll be seeing the footage on the GoPro. I've had to re-edge this piece down here. I can't remember if we spoke about it in the last video, but there was a repair I did behind here. I think I did. I'm getting nodded at, so I'm guessing I did. So yeah, this edging repair's all on here now. The door closed. The gap's pretty good. We won't know exactly what it's like until all that comes out of there as well, because I can guarantee there's a fair amount of filler in the door as well. But yeah, that is, as far as we're concerned for the moment, the metal work on the Impala done until it is bare metals. Speaking of bare metaling, Bo's over here doing a quarter down. It's uncovering a very nice weld line for that rear quarter. And a nice amount of oxidation on it as well. So it should look pretty interesting when it is all back to bare metal. Let's see what we find.
Right, you're stuck with me again now, I'm afraid. Owen has done a superb job, his first job for the company, getting all the metal work sorted out onto this. All the metal work that we were asked to do. Now, this job, like so many of them do, has grown. It came in for this metal work. Since it arrived, the customer, who wishes to paint the car himself, has said, while it's with you, can you bare metal it and put it into your lovely Novol classic car anti-corrosion epoxy, and then send it back to me. So we're now into the bare metaling stage, and we did have a chat with the owner ahead of time and said, look, you're probably going to unearth a few bits and pieces, which we have. So we're now having discussions as to where we're going to go with that. But quickly, I'll just run through while Bo's still stripping off. We've already touched on this throughout the videos, the quality of the previous quarter panel repair. Well, this is now fully exposed, and what a gem it is. And this is the good side. We'll take you around the other side in a minute. But you'll also see, I mean, the paint came off for this yesterday, and as it's coming off, it's revealing all this dark oxidized material underneath it. So the panel had sat around for a while without paint on it before it got fitted and painted. So there's not a lot we can do with that other than attack it, and we'll get this coated up in Furtan pretty quickly. We drop down the bottom here, Lou. It's had a quarter panel on it each side, but this quarter panel is already rotting out. So we've got holes all the way along here and here. So we're just going to go through the process now of pricing up this repair for the customer, as well as making good that quarter panel to rear tailpan joint up the top there. Owen repaired the shut on the driver's side. The passenger side isn't really much better. It's a bit of a mess down inside here. So again, we're going to have a chat and see what the owner wants to do with it there. it's a case of, you know, it's kind of come this far now. It would be a shame and a false economy to stop. Kind of committed now. And if we just, as I say, that side is the better side. This is quite some piece of work through here. I don't know what that's all about. I mean, you can see here, Bo's just using the Mercer DA to remove paint and a wire wheel. So there's nothing overly aggressive here, but I mean, just crazy, crazy. This quarter panel is a little bit better. There is corrosion just coming in down at the bottom of the pan here. So again, we'll price to do that. But for now, Bo's just working around getting the rest of the paint off. So I'll have a little look. We might be wrapping this video up here and hitting you with a part 4 as well. But thought we'd just give you an update as to where it's going from the point where Owen finished off with the planned metalworks. And it's always good to show Bo busy working away and getting caked in crap. Right, straight back. Following on from what I've just said, spoken with a customer and he's, well, I'm in it now, aren't I? So what we're going to do is we have worked out costings for him and agreed to get both rear quarters squared away. So Owen is super keen, he loves this car. He's straight in now, which we'll get the GoPro footage on this, make up a lower rear quarter and wheel arch lip. We will coat all of this in the furtan, get that doing its job. Once the bottom quarter is done, we'll come up and slice through this, get rid of all this pigeon poop and do that properly on both sides. We have, I think we hadn't quite finished stripping this wing when I last filmed for you. There's a little bit of corrosion on the wheel arch lip as well. So next job, get both rear quarters sorted out. Owen's cracking on with that. Bo's looking really cool leaning on the door and is going to be stripping off some paint and we'll get these going into epoxy. Yeah, so 2 doors and a boot lid, mate. We'll get those into epoxy while Owen stitches all this back together again. So a little bit longer on the video, but the feedback's really good. You're enjoying some of this metal work and I'm enjoying watching someone else do some of this metal work. So it's all good.
Right, just a quick little update on the Impala bits and pieces that we're doing. We've spoken to the customer, we're doing both, bless you, both lower quarters, I think we said in the video, both lower quarters, door shut, and a few other little bits and pieces. So I've been making up this panel, got to the point where I can cut it off and see what's inside, and this is what we found. A previous repair that has been tacked onto the old repair, and I don't really know how much is going to be left. So we're going to hit it with a wire wheel, see what is there, and then after that, probably end up making a fab panel to go in there, butting everything up together.
We've kind of gone a little bit out of sequence now because there's just so much going on in the shop at the minute. You would have just seen that Owen has cut out the bottom there and revealed all kinds of nastiness down the bottom here as well. So this has all been cleaned back. Customer's given the go ahead now to just remake the bottom of that, bottom of the arch, and then Owen's been busy shaping up and forming up the lower quarter to go into here. So that's well underway. But because we are bare metaling this as well, we're trying to get a bit of a sequence together. So Bo's already done the doors. They've been repaired and they're now in the epoxy. Excuse me. We've also had the go ahead. Let's get rid of all this nastiness down here. So the quarters have been cut and stitched back together again. So on both sides now, that's been cut and stitched, which means that we were able to get rid of all this lovely overlap. So we had all this delightful material here was still in there with the overlap of the other panels. So that's been taken out now. That's just been seam welded both sides, so that's all done. Re-edged the bottom of this quarter here as well. We'll come back to this bit. But we've re-edged this quarter as the same as we've done on that side. We've had to remake the bottom of the A-pillar. We've still got the driver's side to do, which we'll come back to. I'll probably overlay some footage of how that side looks now. Passenger side there, all done and welded up. We have unearthed a little bit more corrosion in here. So that's on Owen's to-do list quite soon. He's currently in the back room making a whole load of mess and noise because we've got a rotten boot lid. So we'll just wait for him to finish blowing down in there. So, hello mate, just doing a quick catch up. Yeah. So I think I've got some photographs of this. So this has been sectioned out here because all of that was rotten. So that's been repaired. A couple of small repairs to do here as well. The boot lid is now in bare metal completely. So the plan is now we're going to get, I say we, you, we're going to get the boot lid finished off, and then Bo can have the boot lid and the bonnet into epoxy. So we'll have boot lid, bonnet, doors into epoxy, just leaving the body to go. So once Owen's finished off in here, I'll leave you alone now, mate. It is just a case of doing these last few repairs around the back of the quarters, and then the whole thing will be going into epoxy. We will coat it up with fur tan as well, as we already said, with these oxidized areas. So we'll treat that with a fur tan. I know Owen's busy getting some GoPro footage sorted out as well, so I'll try and splice some of that in so you can see what's going on. And yeah, we're moving forward now to getting this into the epoxy and sending it back to the owner.
Right, another quick update on the Impala. I think the last bits and pieces you've seen of what Keith recorded, because I've been slacking on doing a bit of recording. But the A-pillar, all this section down here has now all been replaced. It's a bit dirty and dusty, but you can kind of get the gist of what's going on in there. So yeah, this bit's all done. The boot lids that I was working on last time, that's all done. That's in epoxy primer. Waiting for the rest of the body now. So moving them further on down the car, this top lip for the rear quarter has all been replaced, and there was a small section on the inside that we had to replace as well for the inner lip. Same with going down to this lower corner as well. Obviously outer skin's been replaced, and then a few pieces had to be made on the inside of the arch tub and so on and so forth on here as well. So, as per usual with this car, the more stuff we're cutting out of it, the more stuff we're finding. I think on the last video, you saw the time lapse of this side's quarter being stitched in. That side quarter's been also stitched in as well. And last time you saw it, there was a nice hole going through here. So again, all of this has been done. Been a little bit of lapse with the GoPro at the moment, just because I've been toing and throwing other bits and pieces. So there's not a lot of footage of stuff being made, but as an update, that's all that's done. This was the last section of the car that needed to be replaced. Obviously, Keith showed you the outer panel I've made, so we've got to do the internal repairs down here, and also now round to the front windscreen aperture, which we found there's a nice great big hole going through there. So we're going to be remaking the lower edge of the aperture, and then, I've said it a few times, that is the metal work done. This will be an epoxy primer, customer's happy, everyone's happy. Yeah. So, I know we've said it enough times now that you can probably make a drinking game out of it, but metalwork on the Impala is now done. Everything is finished as far as I'm aware. All the little bits, all the little niggles, all sorted out. So if we come back to here, in the last video we were talking about how the customer has approved us to do the windscreen aperture. This is now all done, sprayed it up in a 2K epoxy primer for the moment, just so it's all sealed and everything. Yeah, this whole top run here has all been replaced, and there's quite a few repairs on this lower section as well, sections that I've had to make. One in there, one on the end, a few in the middle, just to sort of keep all of this area tidied up. Just a refresher on some bits and pieces. Obviously, roof section's been done, that we spoke about last time. This rear quarter section is now all in as well. So I had to do more than what we thought we would have to do here. It's had the outer skin replaced, obviously. I don't know how well you can see, but the bottom of the wheel arch tub as well, this has had to be replaced. And this inner drop down panel, you can probably see better when you come around this side. This has all been replaced as well, because there was just nothing left. Oh. Apart from that, not really done too much new stuff. A couple of small little holes, a couple of small little plates here and there. Not a lot really worth going over. But like I say, that is all of the metal work now on this done. If you're the owner of this car who's watching, I do apologise that we had to keep phoning you and telling you we found more holes, but that is it. All that's left now is we're going to give the whole car another DA off, just to get any of the flash rustling off. And then a few areas like up around the sunroof, a few other little areas, just get the rest of the paint off of that. And then she's ready to go straight into the booth, set the GoPro up for a time lapse so you guys can see that, going into epoxy. And then we are done.
Look at that. That's very arty, Lou. Here we are in the booth with the Impala because, no, we've not found more metalwork. We are now getting the body into Novol Classic Car hybrid epoxy anti-corrosion to match the panels. So this is the final straight now. We've got some fur tan on the rear quarters, or we've had fur tan on the rear quarters. Any areas where it's sort of orangey and they're slightly oxidized, we've gone over that with some fur tan. All masked out now, and I've just got to go around and degrease it, give it a thorough clean down. We'll get some heat in here because it's coming up to lunchtime, so I'll stick it on bake. We'll give it a half-hour bake, let it settle down, draw out any... I mean, there isn't moisture on it. It's been bloody hot, but that creates humidity. But it has all been cleaned down, blown down, degreased before coming in here. We're all good to go. I'll try and get the GoPro in here somewhere. It's a little bit cozy in here. And we'll whiz round and get some anti-corrosion onto the Impala, wheel it outside, panel it up, and we'll do the closing part of the video. And see you in a little minute. Okay, there we go. That is us done now on the 65 Impala. Everyone comments, including this owner, what a lovely colour the anti-corrosion primer is. Maybe he'll just drive it like it is. It is quite a striking colour. I would just satin clear coat it and go. But here it is, all protected anti-corrosion Novol Classic Car hybrid epoxy primer. this car is not gapped up, it's not levelled, it's nothing. We were charged with take care of the rot, which we've done virtually all of the rot. There's a couple of bits which you think, they're okay, but this isn't a full bare metal, well it is bare metal, I'm waffling. It's not a full rotisserie restoration and there is a budget involved, but this is now a 99% solid sound 65 Impala. That the owner is now going to take away, do all the gapping, levelling and putting it into colour. I don't know what colour yet. He's due here in about an hour, I'll ask. But as a quick recap, Owen has been super busy on this. He has re-edged the bottom of the screen, bottom of the front screen scuttle, that's all been re-edged. There's been a repair in the bottom of both front doors, the front of both doors even. It is only a two-door. So repairs have gone into the bottom of the doors. The rear quarter panels have had that horrible lap joint removed, and that's all now seam welded, ready to be gone over and levelled up. Put a repair into the bottom of the wheel arch on this side. We've done bottom of the rear quarter this side, bottom of the rear quarter that side. And the main job it was here for was obviously taking care of all of this that was rotten. So the gutter rail here where the rubber sits was all rotten. The underside was rotten. This was all floating around. I don't know if you can see from there, Lou, it's so far away. These corners in here were gone, so that's all been redone. And the new rear deck panel as well. It's not all gapped up, as I've already said. Oh, and obviously we put corners in here, corners in here. So there's no rubbers or buffer rubbers in, so it is sitting a little bit wonky, but with the buffer rubbers in place, that will all sit absolutely fine, and as they should do. So, yeah, as I say, it's quite a menacing looking thing with its very 70s stance and its bigger rear wheels and that matte sort of pistachio green. It is quite nice. It is quite nice. But there we go. As with many of these jobs, it did grow. It did only come in for the rear deck panel. And fair play to Will, he stuck with it. After his decision to go have us bare metal it, where we did say, look, you're probably going to find more, took a deep breath and said, no worries guys, go for it, and we'll see where the ride takes us. And this is the end of the ride for us with the car. As I say, it goes back with Will this afternoon. He's still got a lot of work to do, so I don't expect you will be seeing it all finished this summer, but hey, maybe next summer. Maybe I'll have ours finished for next summer as well, you never know. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please hit like, subscribe, and all that jazz. And I've no idea what's coming up next week, but we'll find something for you. Let's get this gone. You can make as much noise as you like now, mate.